Hello friends, this video on plant growth and development part 16 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now we will see how does this process of photoperiodicity takes place. What magic is there inside different plants that they flower in different duration of light exposure, or you can say that they flower in different seasons. Okay, so now there are a set of complexes which are present inside many plants which are responsible for this phenomenon of photoperiodicity, and this set of complexes are called phytochromes. Phyto means plant, chromes means a chemical substance, some chemicals. So phytochromes. Now what is their job? Their job is to absorb light, to regulate flowering. So they are the ones who are responsible for absorbing light. So now these complexes, they are, if you look at their structures, they are protein structures. Now you know, right, proteins, they exist in so many forms. So these are also complex protein structures. They exist in two forms. And they are the photoreceptors. Photo, that is light. Receptor, somebody who is receiving light. So they are the ones, these structures receive light. Now they exist in two forms. What are those two forms? One is PR and the other one is PFR. So P represents phytochrome, R represents red light, and here also P represents phytochrome and FR represents far red light. So this means that there is one form of phytochrome which absorbs the red light of the spectrum. So when you think of the spectrum, this is the red light of the spectrum, right? So PR complexes absorb the red light of the spectrum and PFR absorbs the far red light of the spectrum. That is the other end of the spectrum. Right? So these are the two forms. Now one interesting thing is that these two forms are interconvertible. That means PR can be converted into PFR. Again, PFR gets converted to PR. So that is one interesting thing. Now the question is, okay, we all understood that, okay, there are some protein structures called phytochromes. They absorb light. They exist in two forms, PR, PFR. But how does it affect flowering? Okay, let us try to understand that also. Now, as I said, they are interconvertible. Now, when PR gets converted to PFR, so PR gets converted into PFR in the daylight. Now, whenever I say the red light during the day, red light is more, you agree, right? The red region of the spectrum, that will be more during daylight, correct? So during daylight, PR gets converted into PFR and PFR gets converted into PR during the night time. Clear? Why? Because during daylight there is more of red light and this PR is good at absorbing red light. So it will absorb red light and it gets converted into PFR. Now this PFR is good at absorbing far red light, that is the bluish light and all. So that is more available at night. So it will absorb the far red light during night and will get converted into PR, and this process continues. So this is the key concept here. So if you understand this, you will be able to understand how these phytochromes affect flowering in plants. So I hope this is clear. Okay, so now let us see how these phytochromes will affect flowering in plants. So let us first talk about the short day plants. Now what happens in short day plants? As I said before, in short day plants, they need shorter days and they need longer nights. Correct? Okay. Now, PFR is the one which actually affects flowering. This form, PFR. In case of short day plants, PFR inhibits flowering. So, it doesn't let flowering to happen. Please remember this. In short day plants, PFR, this component, it does not allow flowering to happen. So, in this case, we can say lesser the PFR, better is the flowering. Correct? Because it is inversely proportional. If there is more PFR, it will not allow flowering to happen. So there will be no flowering. So if the short day plants want to flower, they should have very less minimum PFR, or they should not have any PFR at all. Right? Now, in case of short day plants, they need short day and long nights. That is the requirement of short day plants. Now let us see how the conversion happens in this case. Now let us suppose PR. PR will get converted into PFR. This happens during day, and for such plants the days are shorter. So when you have a short day, what will happen? PR will get converted into PFR, but since the duration of the day is short, so less PFR will be formed, because it does not get much time for the conversion. So the duration is lesser. But what happens during the night? This less amount of PFR will get converted into PR, and this time the nights are really long. So the nights are long. So there is a lot of time for the conversion. So what happens is, since the amount of PFR is less and the duration of night is very long, so all the PFR is able to get converted into PR. So after one complete day, that is one day, and when we say one day, or you mean 24 hours, we mean the daylight plus the night time. So after one such complete day, what happens? You have more of PR, right? Because initially you had some PR. Since the day was short, not all of them could get converted to PFR. Some of it got converted to PFR. So the amount of PFR was anyways less. Now the nights are long, so there is a lot of time for this PFR to get converted to PR. So whatever less amount of PFR was there, it all got converted to PR. Correct? So at the end of both these conversions, what are you left with? You already were left with some PR here. Now you also get so much of PR. So you have more PR and almost no PFR. So since no PFR, hence flowering. So therefore the flowering happens only when the days are short and the nights are long. Now you might think that, okay, what would have happened if the days were longer? So in that case the PFR would have been more, and in that case if the nights were shorter, so not all the PFRs would have been able to convert back. So you would have been left with some PFR and they would have inhibited flowering. So there would have been no flowering. Clear? So this is the concept behind the short day plants, why they need short days and long nights for flowering. Now in a very similar way, we can understand the flowering in case of long day plants as well. I think you can do it yourself. You can explain it to yourself based on whatever I spoke about short day plants. But anyways, I'll explain it to you. In case of long day plants, PFR promotes flowering. So that is the difference between short day and long day plants. In this case, PFR, more the PFR, more is the flowering. So more PFR, more flowering. So now the relation is opposite in case of long day plants. Now when you have long days, in case of these plants, you have long days and short nights. Correct? So now for the conversion, you have some PFR and you have long days. So over the long day, all this PFR will be able to get converted to PFR. So now you have more PFR because all the PR got converted to PFR. So now this PFR will get a very short night, not too much of time to get converted to PR. So in this short duration, not all PFR will be able to convert back to PR. So you will be left back with some PFR. So at the end of this entire day, you are left with more PFR. And since you have more PFR, PFR promotes flowering. So more PFR, therefore flowering takes place. Simple, right? The logic is quite simple. So these are certain interesting facts which you know, that why different plants flower in different seasons. Okay, so with this, I think we have discussed this topic on photoperiodism. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.